The Philippine Medical Association recorded the existence of San Pablo City Medical Association officially on January 8, 1947. It was on September 30, 1966 that the association was applied for a corporate status. 4 months later, on January 10, 1967, with the approval of the incorporation under the corporate name San Pablo City Medical Society Incorporated, by the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SPCMS attained a legal personality. Before 1947, the physicians of SPC were associated with other medical groups, being members of the Laguna Medical Association based in Santa Cruz, Laguna, and that Manila Medical Society. With a deep sense of unity and camaraderie, the leading medical practitioners of that time organized the San Pablo City Medical Association with 23 charter members. It was headed by Dr. Cirilio Cauyan as charter president and Dr. Archimedes Brion as secretary. The first decade, 1947 to 1957, was marked by rapid change and development in the city of San Pablo. It became the center of commerce, banking, transportation, and education in the southern Tagalog region. The Medical Association grew in prominence and became the venue for continuing medical education for its members. Esteemed specialists from Manila were invited as speakers in the regular scientific fora. The members provided utmost medical care and health services to the city and the adjacent municipalities and provinces. Second decade, 1958 to 1968. The San Pablo City Hospital became the center for training for the local physicians, ably handled by the then Chief of Hospital, Dr. Bonifacio Reyes. In the same decade, Dr. Delfin Bautista set up the rehabilitation for orthopedic patients at the city hospital. In 1961, the San Pablo Peer Culture Center was set up through the efforts of the then association president, Dr. Fernando Bautista. In 1966, the first private hospital in San Pablo Doctors Hospital, was founded by former San Pablo Medical Association President Dr. Archimedes Brion. This further improved the level of medical care in the city. San Pablo physicians who had their specialty training abroad started their careers in the said hospital. In 1967, the second private hospital in San Pablo City, the Community General Hospital of San Pablo City, was established. It further improved and modernized medical practice in San Pablo. The third decade, 1969 to 1979, the first female president of SPMS was elected in the person of Dr. Virginia Reyes Estrada. Amendments to the Society's constitution and bylaws were presented during this period. Several private hospitals opened in San Pablo during 1970s. These are the following: SPC Medical Center, Hospital of St. Gerard, Belcast Family Hospital, Hospital of Saints Francis and Paul, Immaculate Conception Hospital. During the fourth decade, 1980 to 1990, Dr. Oscar Brion worked for the standardization of charges among surgeons and private hospitals in the city. A weekly Medibalita was published in a local newspaper, The Barangay, to inform the local citizenry of the current advances in medicine and patient care. The term of Dr. Adoracion Alaba focused on providing training out-of-school youths. In coordination with the Department of Education, basic training for would-be hospital nursing aides were started. Health education and livelihood program for the barrio folks were the legacy left by her term. Dr. Medwin Mercado started the Adopt a Barangay program. Professional fees were standardized. Members were encouraged to be part of the society's various sports teams.
Magandang gabi o magandang araw sa inyong lahat. It's almost 10 years since I left the Philippines and retired from my practice. Alam nyo, I miss every moment of it, and I miss all of you guys. About a month ago, I got an email from Nika to give a talk about memorable events of my presidency. In my essay, I have already mentioned the highlights of those years and some reflections on my time as president, which I believe will be published in our 75th anniversary souvenir book. I'd like to talk more about the wonderful men and women of the San Pablo City Medical Society. 45 years ago, I joined the San Pablo City Medical Society. I was inducted as a member by then President Dr. Omar de Mesa. I distinctly remember that first day. There was camaraderie and friendship among the older and the younger members. And the surprising thing is that what emerges from such diversified environment is a sense of cooperation and mutual respect. Since then, I have gone a long way. I became an active member and at the same time enjoying my practice as a family physician. I always got involved in leadership positions, first by carrying out the usual roles in different committees, then as a secretary-treasurer of President Oscar Brion. Way back then, the positions of the secretary and treasurer is done by one person. And then I was elected as vice president of Dr. Rodel Estiba, and in 1986 to 1988, I was elected as the president. In San Pablo City Medical Society, I met wonderful people. People who are deeply committed to improve themselves and others. People who are selfless to help. People who share, who give, and who became best friends and family. They come from different medical specialties, and they have challenged me to become a better person in every single aspect. Not just as a good doctor, but as a better version of myself. And it certainly has been a wonderful experience and a great journey for me. As I reflect on the years of 1986 to 1988, I cannot help but to be grateful and humbled by the opportunity of having been given an extraordinary honor and privilege to serve as president and to have been a colleague to so many remarkable people of the San Pablo City Medical Society. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay ang San Pablo City Medical Society. Happy 75th anniversary. God bless. I'll see you all when this pandemic is over, and it's always a joy to be with you again. Thank you.
The fifth decade, 1991 to 2001. The decade was welcomed by a series of natural calamities hitting the country one after the other. The society actively sent donations and volunteers to the affected areas. In 1993, the city government of San Pablo officially recognized the San Pablo Medical Society as a non-governmental organization. Thus, our society gained a seat at San Pablo City's Health Council. In 1997, San Pablo Medical Society celebrated her golden year. PMA President Homobono Caleja inducted Dr. Angelito Benjamin Belen as the 29th president of the SPMS. Computer literacy program for all members of the San Pablo Medical Society was a highlight of the year. During the term of Dr. Cynthia Sanchez, focus was on the upliftment of the lives of senior citizens in the city. Regular medical missions and education in depressed areas were held. On the sixth decade, 2002 to 2012, San Pablo Medical Society was awarded her first Ikasyano Award, third place, during the term of Dr. Amor Awayan. During the term of Dr. Dionisio Gutierrez, the official name of the society became the San Pablo Medical Society. The official logo and banner of the society was likewise redesigned by Dr. Raisa Francisco Ilay. The seventh decade, 2013 to 2019, started with another Ikasyano Award during the term of Dr. Heidi Viray Sarmiento. The new leaders of the society were now more focused in nation building. Activities were based on its impact to overall health upliftment of the Filipinos, particularly in their localities. Through the creative efforts of Dr. Rose C. Shellshear, SPCMS was finally awarded the much coveted Ikasyano Award first place last 2014. Awards and recognition are always welcome addition to a medical society's illustrious history. But at times, the acid test of what a society is worth comes from the most unexpected circumstances. Such was the experience of Dr. Randy Mello, who during his term as a society president from 2019 to 2020, had to face several natural disasters like devastating typhoons and the massive eruption of Taal volcano in January of 2020. The society was ever ready to respond at a moment's notice and was among the key organizations to come to the aid of disaster victims wherever any assistance in whatever form was needed. Dr. Mello garnered for the SPCMS another Ikashana Award and then turned over the reins of the society following year to his successor, Dr. Edgardo Noblejas Jr. 2020 to 2021, who became the pandemic president. As COVID-19 created problems in all aspects of daily life and challenged everyone to cope and survive in the so-called new normal. The San Pablo City Medical Society took up the challenge of life in the time of COVID and not only continued to pursue its goals towards quality healthcare for the city, but more importantly became a vital force in the continuing fight against the pandemic. The resilience and the sense of service beyond the call of duty equally defines and distinguishes the San Pablo City Medical Society as one worthy of emulation. Within its 75 years of existence, from 1947 to 2022, 47 past presidents have served the society, having their own merits and achievements. To note, the 17th President, Dr. Petronio P. Alava, received a lot of donation as the future site of the Medical Society building and also became the first elected PMA District Governor of Southern Tagalog Region. Its 24th President, Dr. Melesio V. Marilin, was amongst the founding members of the Southern Tagalog Association of Medical Presidents, or STAMP. which eventually was changed to Southern Tagalog Association of Medical Practitioners in 2004 under the term of Dr. Emmanuel D. Loyola. The Philippine Medical Association (PMA) recognizes the San Pablo City Medical Society as one of the oldest existing local medical association in the country. It is said that our vision of the future is rooted in our image of the past. A great lesson was derived from our founders as we look back at our humble beginnings. They saw and approached the future with a vision, a sense of mission, compassion, and universal healthcare for all Filipinos. We take all these to heart as the San Pablo City Medical Society prepares for what the future holds in store. As a medical society, we heal and serve the community. We protect the earth, we praise God. And most importantly, we know how to enjoy, live life, and consider every member as a family. Happy anniversary, San Pablo City Medical Society.